Hey friends, welcome to today's episode of Optimized Online Marketing. Today we're talking about the sales page framework. Now, if you haven't yet, you can download the sales page optimization toolkit totally free at optimizedsalespage.com. Again, you can download this at optimizedsalespage.com. This is going to include a lot more than the framework. However, the framework is inside of this toolkit, so I highly recommend that you download that and follow along for this episode. Now, obviously, if you're driving, working out, doing the dishes, obviously you can't download it right this second, but make sure to download it as soon as you can so that you get the most out of this episode. For this particular episode, I will be doing a screen share. Now, if you want to watch the screen share and follow along, you can follow along via the YouTube channel at optimizedonlinemarketing.com/YouTube and follow along there. However, if you're not watching, then you can still get value out of this. You just won't be seeing exactly what I'm looking at on my screen. Also, there may be a slight shift in audio quality based on the tool that I'm using to do the screen share. I will do my best to adjust it, but just a heads up, there may be it may sound a little bit different audio wise. Hello, friends. So I went and recorded an entire presentation and then lost it. Well, I didn't lose it, but I wasn't screen recording the entire time. So we're doing this again. So sorry if this seems a little bit rushed. I did record everything. I spent like an hour on it and now we're just starting over. But anyways, so a heads up for those of you who are watching on the YouTube channel, I am going to be looking at my screen. So I'll keep my video on so that you can kind of see me as I'm talking through the content. But I will be looking to the side. So if it looks a little weird, it's because I'm looking at my monitor. I haven't figured out a way to get my camera in front of my monitor and still see the content at the same time. So that's what's happening there. And if you're listening to the audio on a podcast, totally fine. You'll still get value. You'll just want to download the opt-in later. So the optimizedsalespage.com, the framework, the toolkit is all in there. All right. So we are now in the sales page optimization toolkit. The framework for the sales page is going to be in here. And we're going to do a brief overview of the sales page as a whole, the different sections that are in it. Then we'll go ahead and do a deep dive in all of the individual sections, what's important, and talk about what's important, the significance of each. And then we'll break it down for you section by section. So that said, you'll see a bunch of stuff inside of the sales page optimization toolkit and including the ideal client avatar exercise. But we're going to go ahead and skim over that and just get to the basic framework. Now, this is just the sales page basic framework this is the sales page at a glance. This is not a comprehensive sales page. This is just a quick snapshot. What does the sales page look like? What are the important sections and why are they there? We're going to go and deep dive into each section a little bit later. This is missing a few things, but at least it has like the core of what should be in a basic sales page. We have the introduction. So this is just a quick intro to your product right at the very top. The second section is the problem. You're going to connect with your ICA by showing how their pain point is such a problem. Then after you talk about what their problem is, you're going to introduce the dream. Show your ICA what your life would look like if their pain point was no longer a problem. And then you're going to introduce your offer. You're going to position your offer as a bridge to get them from where they are now to where they want to be. So it's a bridge from the problem to the dream. The next thing you're going to do is do a quick benefit highlight, show them what positive changes they can expect when they join your product or program, and then dive into the offer details. This lower half of the sales page framework is more authority building and talking about who it's for. So we're going to talk about you, share who you are, who you help, your experience, and the different credentials that you have to teach on the subject that you're teaching on. This is also where you'll include testimonials and share stories of how people have benefited from your program. You'll talk about who it's for and who it's not for. And then this is also where you'll include the FAQ. So that is the overview, a quick snapshot of the sales page framework. If you're on the PDF, there's going to be a link to the framework. And when I say framework, so that first part that I talked about if you're looking at the PDF is a snapshot of the sales page. Then you're going to actually download the framework. You're going to click the button inside of the PDF, and that's going to take you to a Google Doc. So we'll scroll up right to the top. You'll see a Google Doc. You'll be asked to make a copy. Go ahead and click make a copy. You will need to be signed into Google Drive. But at least here, what you can do is once you have this framework, you can go ahead and start making your own. One of the reasons I did a framework and not a template is because people get bogged down in the details of a template, like changing the colors, changing the fonts, changing the photo, the little photo, what do you call it, placeholders, and they get too bogged down in the details. What I want you to do when you're in the sales page framework is to focus on exactly what you're saying. Don't get too bogged down in details and just focus on what it is that you're saying. Obviously, you can change the fonts inside of Google Docs if you don't really like this font that I'm using. But for the most part, it's black and white, no color, nothing like that, because I want to focus on the copy. I want you to focus on what is being said inside of the sales page. All right. And again, you don't need to start straight from the top. Starting straight from the top is a little bit intimidating. In fact, I would recommend that when you're filling this in, I would recommend starting somewhere around section 6. This is where you highlight what's included in your product. So this is where you start describing your product or program and just literally detailing what's included. And then, talking about the different bonuses, talking about the different features, that sort of thing. You can even talk about, start writing your about you section. This is sort of an easier place for most people to start working because it requires less thinking. But having said that, when you're actually creating your sales page, or when your final sales page, you want the introduction to be at the top. I'm just kind of giving you that tip so that you're not like starting from the very top and then you give up. That's not what I want. Start with the easy stuff, then come back to this. All right. So the very first part of your sales page is going to be the introduction. You're going to write a captivating headline that gets people interested in your offer, and then just create a little subtitle that takes them from point A to point B. So this program will take you from point A to point B without, and then insert some whatever challenge it is. So that's going to be the introduction. And we want this right at the very top in case people are coming back to the offer or they're kind of ready to buy. You want to be able to have that buy now button right at the top so they can go straight to checkout. One caveat that I do want to mention is that the buy button on the introduction or on any part of your sales page is going to take them straight to the value portion of the sales page. So the value portion of the sales page where is it? I'm scrolling. It lists out exactly what's in it. So for example, if you have a monthly option and an annual option, this is the part where they decide if they want to go monthly or annual, or if you have a standard option and a VIP option, this is also the place where they would decide, do I want standard or do I want VIP? And they can make that decision here. The reason we don't include this entire value comparison in that buy section on that buy button right at the top is because it's too much. For simplification, we just want that buy button right at the top, and then it'll jump to this section on the sales page that lists out the actual features of the product, and then whether or not they want to do the monthly or the annual or the standard or the VIP, and it's just a nice little table that spells out the offering. But yeah, anytime you see insert buy button, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, so we've introduced the product. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do is connect with your ICA, your ideal client avatar. This is where you really talk about the problem. And when, again, one of the first things that I have you do in the sales page optimization toolkit is to define your ICA and define where they are before they purchase your product or program, and then where they are after. And in that before section, you really want to get into their minds and think about what they're really thinking. You want to think about, where are they suffering, if they're suffering, or if they have a challenge, where their challenges. Some of your programs will address specific pain points, for example, things like weight loss or health related programs. Obviously, you want to talk about their pain points and their struggles there. Some of them are not exactly pressing matters like learning a language, but you do want to address the challenges that people are having when they don't learn a specific when they don't know a language, how difficult it is to kind of get around and talk to people and communicate. But here, this is the section where you want to talk to your audience about and use language that resonates with your ideal client. For example, if you are doing like a weight loss program, you want to talk about the issues that people are having with having additional weight. For example, it's hard for them to get around. It's hard for them to breathe. It makes it difficult to move. You can't hang out with your kids. You can't go out to the festivals. You have to cut your trips short. Things like that. Things that are very, very specific to your ideal client. The more specific that you can get, the more specific examples that you can write in here, the more it's going to talk to your ideal client avatar. A lot of times we think that sales pages need to be, have copy that's super like witty or like uses a lot of alliteration or just like, these cool fun tactics. But really all you have to do is just talk to your ideal client. This is exactly what they're suffering. For example, my ideal client, let's say they're a wellness coach, they have a clean eating program, and they want to reach their they want to make more sales and things like that. They have probably been in the online marketing space for a long time, and they've purchased programs. They've invested thousands of dollars in programs. They already know what an ICA is. They already know what a sales page is. They know what a lead magnet is, a funnel, but they're not seeing sales. What they're doing is not converting. They're spending all this time, all this money trying to make their program work, but they don't understand why it's not working. They show up to the Q&As, but they're not getting their questions answered. And so what I do is I talk specifically about the different issues that they're having in this section. And when I say they, when you're talking to your ICA, you should be talking to one singular person. So my ideal client avatar, her name is Kate. That's just the name I picked for her. So Kate is a wellness coach. She's 30 years old. She's great at what she does. She's very knowledgeable and very informed. She knows a lot about wellness. She knows a lot about clean eating, and she knows what a difference clean eating can make. But she's not a marketing expert. But she joins the programs, she's created this program, but she's kind of having this disconnect as to why people aren't purchasing her program. And so I'm going to be talking to Kate about how Kate has struggled to make sales, how Kate has struggled to connect with her audience on social media, how she has an email list, but they're not responding. And so I will list out all of her individual struggles in this particular section. And I'll talk about Kate kind of throughout this as sort of an example as we create the sales page. And then the next part is illustrate life on the other side of where they are now. So create a headline that illustrates where your ICA could be. So this is kind of like the unicorns and rainbows part of their journey. Obviously, you don't want to exaggerate, but you do want to talk about what life looks like on the other side. So Kate, she's now, imagine what life would look like if, people were attracted to your offering. I'm going to be using kind of general vague terms because I'm doing this on the fly. But, imagine what it would be like if, people were excited about your program. What would it be like if people shared, your program on Instagram? What would it be like if your clients were excited about the changes that were happening in their life? What it would be like if, puppies and rainbows and butterflies and all that sort of thing, illustrate what the other side looks like. And again, talk about it from their perspective, their point of view, and what they want. What is that transformation that they want? For me, Kate, right now she's struggling with sales. She's not connecting with her ideal clients. And then after she gets these, what are they called? Again, I've recorded this like 2 or 3 times already. So my brain's not functioning fully. But, Kate is on the other side now. She's getting sales. She's getting conversions. People are following her. Her list is growing. People are following her on social media. People are connecting with what she's saying on her sales page. She kind of sees where the disconnect is now, and she knows how to communicate with her ideal client. This is what we're illustrating. And having said that, this is where we go into your offer introduction. So position your offer as the bridge to get them from where they are now to where they want to be. So just here, it's kind of like, here is for my particular offering, it's the optimized online marketing membership, optimized online marketing community. And then below that, be like, here's the optimized online community, and then a quick sentence that summarizes what that product or program is, along with that buy button. All right. Then here's a section, the benefit highlights. Show them what positive changes they can expect from your offer. So it's very similar to the dream part, but here we're connecting both the end, we're connecting both the beginning to the end. So low conversions. So this stops, this starts. The end of this, beginning of that. You go from point A to point B. So, for Kate, go from low conversions to to more conversions and more sales, the end of confusion and being lost to clarity. And, again, I'm so sorry. This is hard to do when you've recorded this like 3 times already. But you get the idea. You get the point. All right. So then we move into the full offer introduction. And this is where you talk about what's included. So you're going to talk about what's in your program, but also talk about the so what. So for example, it's like, okay, you're gonna be learning about how to create an ideal client avatar. So what? So that you can speak directly to their pain points and their challenges. You're gonna be learning about if you have a wellness program, you're gonna learn how to grocery shop so that you can save money and have a pantry full of delicious food. You're gonna, if another program, you get the idea. You're going to you're going to stop this so that you can start doing this. My brain is mush. Goodness, but you get the idea. This is where you're going to include all of the modules here. Then just below summarizing all the modules, summarize all the modules in a compelling sentence, and then encourage them to buy now. All right, then if you have any bonuses, include the bonuses here and then highlight the date at the end. By the way, if you have a bonus that has expired, remove it from the page. You don't want to show your audience something that they can't have. It kind of gives that like, well, if I can't get this, I don't want it at all feeling, and that's not what you want. So if a bonus is expired, just remove it from the page. You can include it when you're emailing people, you can say a bonus is about to expire, but don't remind them that it has expired. I mean, if they ask, where do I get this bonus? Obviously you can say it has expired, but when you're creating any kind of selling material, if something has expired already or it's no longer available, just don't include it. It just shows like, hey, you could have had this, but now you can't. And it's not a very good experience for the customer. All right. Now we have section 6C, which is the offer highlights and the buy button. So this is what I talked about earlier, where you have like the monthly and the annual, the standard and the VIP. You're going to want to list all of the different features that are included. Don't get cute with it. Just be like, okay, you get 6 modules, 10 Q&As, 3 worksheets or whatever, and just literally list out exactly what they get. So they pay this much money, they get 6 modules, 10 Q&As, 3 worksheets, whatever. It's an exchange. So if I give you money, this is what you get in exchange. We're not promising anything in this section. We're not promising they're going to lose weight. We're not promising they're going to make money. We are saying literally, you give us this money, you'll get this these exact things in this particular section. But it's a good way to kind of showcase and highlight that, like, hey, if you pay this, you'll get all of this. And it's sort of a CYA, cover your assets sort of thing, where it's like, in case of like legal, oh, I didn't lose weight. Well, I didn't promise that you would lose weight. I said you would get 6 modules that teach you how to lose weight. And that's how that works. I know, fun legal stuff. All right. After the value section, we're going to do the about me section, about you, about me. You'll introduce yourself and in a way where it's like, hey, my name is so-and-so. I help you do blank so that you can achieve blank. So in the beginning of this podcast, I talk about how I'm a customer journey marketing strategist. I help you maximize sales by optimizing the customer experience. I kind of flipped it on its head because people don't really care about the customer experience part. If I said, hey, I can help you optimize the customer experience, I'd probably lose you right there. Whereas if I start out with I help you maximize sales, great. Now your ears perk up. And then I tell you how I do that, which is by optimizing the customer experience. So share your story here, talk about your experience. You don't need to talk about how you love puppies and rainbows and butterflies. You don't need to share your entire life story or where you were born. Just share what's relevant to your ideal client avatar. You can include a couple of lines that are a little bit more personal towards the end. You can talk about how you're born in Idaho and you love puppies and kittens. At the end of your about you page, but just a couple of sentences you can keep it a little bit personal. This section does not have to be dry. You can have a little bit of fun language, talk in the style that you would normally talk in. It's just the information needs to be relevant to the reader. Then after that, we'll go into testimonials. If you don't have testimonials, don't worry. You can still have a sales page without testimonials, but if you have them, great, put them in here. The way that we would format the testimonials is we would highlight the title with a main point. So for example, title could be 500 leads in 5 days, I got increased energy, or no more back pain. Just a quick highlight of what exactly that they got out of working with you. And then, you can edit it for grammar and spelling. Just let when you're taking testimonials, just let people know that you will be editing for spelling and grammar. And then also you can mention it on the sales page. These testimonials have been edited for spelling and grammar. Just edit it in a way that doesn't twist what they're saying. So for example, like if somebody said, I lose 50 pounds, you obviously can change it to I lost 50 pounds, but don't say like, if they said I lost 5 pounds, you obviously can't change it to 15 or something like that. Just like you can change the grammar and the spelling for clarity, but you can't change what actually happened. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so we have our testimonials, and then this following section is who it's designed for. So this section will help potential buyers determine if an offer will work for them. I do have a little snarky comment here about how people will say this program is not for you if you're lazy, unmotivated, and can't get anything done. Like we don't want to insult people for not buying. But for example, if it is a fitness program, you want to address who's actually not a good fit. So this program is not for you if you have a heart condition, you're pregnant, you have severe joint pain, et cetera, and you want to do it in a way that's like not insulting them if they have it. And then when we're talking about this is great for you if you don't want to say things like, this is great for you if you want to make a lot of money, or for example, in the fitness, since we're on fitness, it's like, we don't want to say this program is perfect for you if, again, this is where doing things on the fly is not helping me. But yeah, let's say this program is perfect for you if you want to make a ton of money. This program is perfect for you if you like having nice cars, or we want to talk about who's actually a right fit. So for my online program, this program is right for you if you already have some experience in online marketing. This program is perfect for you if you are familiar with terms like lead magnet and sales funnel. If you already have some subscribers on your email list, if you already have some followers, et cetera, et cetera. So this is a qualifying thing. And my program would not be for those who are brand new, those who are unfamiliar with marketing terms, that sort of thing. And what I'm literally saying is like, I am targeting people who have a little bit of experience in marketing, kind of know when I say things like ICA or sales page, like they all have an idea already of what I'm talking about, as opposed to somebody who's like, what's an ICA, or what's a lead magnet, or what's a sales funnel? Like, this is not the program for them. Okay. Then we go ahead and reintroduce the buy button. You can insert an inspiring quote to get them to take action, and insert a buy button. Then we'll have the FAQ. The FAQ are questions like, what is your refund policy? Do I get one-on-one support? All the calls recorded, et cetera, et cetera. So these are just pretty standard questions that most people ask when it comes to joining a program. Include any additional questions that's relevant to your offer here. I would say between 5 and 10 questions is good. Any more than that, and it just gets to be too much. Most people like to collapse the FAQ here where it's like you have to click on a button to kind of open up the answer. In this section, I think this would be a good idea just so the sales page isn't so long, especially if you have more than 5 questions. And then we're getting towards the end. Section 12, create a sense of urgency or excitement. So are you ready to go from blank to bank? From blank to bank. I might use that. But are you ready to go from blank to, whatever the outcome is? Join us inside of blank buy now, and then insert the buy now button there. So that is the sales page framework. Thank you for sticking out with me through this, really long. I mean, this is a 23-minute recording, but for me, this has been like 2 or 3 hours already. So thanks for sticking with me. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And again, if you have any questions, you can feel free to tag me at Stacy Barnes CO on Instagram. So that's STACYBARNESCO. Let me go ahead and stop sharing. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for watching and listening in. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.